What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for Wednesday. We have 12 games today, a monster slate after a quiet 4-gamer yesterday. It did go well. We hit on DraftKings, Fanduel hit in cash games, so see if we can keep it going today with this monster slate. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it for the like button, subscribe. If you haven't already, you can check out the sponsor Prize Picks. You use my code PROCESS for deposit match up to $100. You can check out Twitter for updates. We'll also post a Prize Picks play later in the day or Prize Picks entry. Check out the website, Discord, all this stuff is in the description. And let's get started. So we've got a ton of studs today. It's going to be a lot to talk about. Starting off at the point guard position, we're getting a pretty nice price tag on Luka Doncic. His price has dropped from the 12K range to mid 11K. He's 11.5. Going into Brooklyn to square off against Kevin Durant. You could see them going back and forth in this one. I do want to prioritize this game, especially there's two superstars in it. So give me Luka Doncic at 11.5. DeJounte Murray's coming in as a close second play. You're also getting a pretty good price tag on him, but you're getting a little bit more of a discount on Luka. But DeJounte Murray in this matchup can easily go for a triple-double. That's how bad OKC is and how quickly they play. It should be a fast-paced game. So I don't have a problem going with either one of those two top guys. Trae Young has been balling as of late. He also gets a good matchup here. I think he'll probably come in less owned than like Murray and Luka, but for tournaments he looks fine. And then SGA is questionable. He's played a lot of games recently. Would not be surprising at all if he's held out. If he is, that might hurt some of these Spurs guys because you could see it getting out of hand earlier. But if he's out, then you're going to be looking at some value from OKC, like Wiggins would look better. You're probably going to get you'll probably get Maledon starting and playing a lot of minutes, and maybe Pokuševski would jump in to the starting lineup, but you'll get a lot more changes, so hopefully he plays so we don't have to deal with that. And then you have James Harden. He looks fine, but he looks behind. Like, I'd rather probably go Trae Young over Harden. I'd rather go SGA, Murray, Luka over Harden, so he's not somebody that I'm trying to get to today. 9K range, you have Steph against Boston, coming off of a good game. It's a tough matchup here against Boston, two teams that play pretty good defense, especially now that the Warriors got Draymond back, even though he's limited. But that's still going to bolster their defense. They were awful without him defensively. Booker's 95. Great matchup against Houston. Could see this game also turning into a blowout, but who knows? Houston has played tough at times. They did beat the Grizzlies last week or 2 weeks ago. Definitely not playing Westbrook at 89 or really even looking at Ball too much at 85. You just have better plays at the top end, and Ball's minutes have kind of come down. He hasn't really played more than 31 minutes recently, except for at the end of February, which, that game might have gone into overtime. I'm not sure, but his minutes haven't been as high as they were last month or 2 months ago when they had like 8 guys that they were playing in 7-man rotations, tight ones. So, he looks... And you also have like Rozier's been playing better, scoring the ball better, and he still gets less ownership than Ball on a daily basis. 7K range, not too much interest in I guess you could make a case for Russell at 77 just because the matchup is so good against the Lakers, but I don't think you need to. It should be a high-scoring game if you wanted to go. There's just so many plays today. You're not going to get too much ownership on these guys in the mid-range, but I would maybe make a case for D'Angelo Russell. Not looking at Maxey, not really looking at Campaign or Drew Holiday much. 6K range, same deal. Nobody really sticks out here. You could make cases for Williams for tournaments, but tough matchup against the Knicks. You can make a case for Monk at 61, but you'll need him to get red hot shooting. And the price tag has come up on him. Hopefully Winslow plays, so that's just one more body in the Portland rotation, and that keeps the game a bit closer. Having him play more minutes than Ellaby or Williams or some of these guys will benefit them. 5K range, Trey Mann would look a lot better. If there is no SGA, he'd get a lot more usage and probably more assist opportunities. 4K range, Dragic at 42 looks good as just a guy that's going to jump into the starting lineup in place of Kyrie, fresh off of a 60-point game, can't play at home still. So you'll see Dragic play a lot more minutes at $4,200, and then you'll also see Patty Mills, even though he's been struggling with his shot, he's still shooting over 40% from distance, but he's had a good game last time out, or yesterday, but before that, still been struggling a little bit, not taking a ton of shots in some of these games, just like 1 or 2 shots. He's been fine except for that 1-9 game against the Knicks. But overall, been better than he was like last week or 2 weeks ago where he was really struggling. So hopefully he can kind of become like he was in the first couple of months of the year. But I probably still like Dragic a little bit more. Mills is much more just of a scoring threat. Dragic can still get you assists and get you some rebounds. Over at shooting guard, not really looking at Harden much. Booker looks okay, but 95, you're not getting much of a discount. And you do have a ton of other superstars that I want to get to on the slate. You have Van Fleet and Zach LaVine questionable. Hopefully they both play. That's what I'm expecting. 6K range and 7K range, not too much here. You could look to Trent if you wanted to for tournaments, just because he gives you that big upside if he's knocking down threes. 5K range would be Barton at 58. Clarkson looks okay just because they don't have too many options, but I liked him a lot better when he was 46 compared to 57. Have some other value here in the 4K range and especially in the 3K range here. Dante DiVincenzo jumped into the starting lineup and played a lot of minutes and played well without Holiday, who was out for an illness. If he's out again, then definitely you can look to DiVincenzo as a value pick. 3K range here. We have Reeves starts, depends on how he plays, if he's going to get the minutes, so he is risky in that sense. You have Okoro, has been playing better as of late, and then Patty Mills also looks fine at 34. Moving on to small forward, looking to prioritize another superstar here. You have a ton to pick and choose from. Give me Kevin Durant, sub 11,000. We saw Kyrie go off yesterday. It's just been like a lot of these superstars are trying to one-up each other. Recently, we saw Cat drop 60. The next day, Kyrie said, I can drop 60. We've seen LeBron. I think it all started when LeBron dropped over 50. And then all the other guys are just saying, like, trying to make their case that they're still got it. So it's been fun. We'll probably see somebody else go for like 50 or 60 today. Who knows who that'll be. It could be Kevin Durant, the way that he's been playing. He took a backseat to Kyrie yesterday, as you would expect. Only took 9 shots. I mean, he was on pace to have a good game if he took more shots. Probably see him take like 30-plus shots like he did against the Knicks here without Kyrie in that one as well. Love Durant at this price tag. Other options would be not too much interest for me in the 7K range here. Jaylen Brown does look good, but the matchup isn't the best. 6K range, don't have much interest here. 5K range, now that Clippers getting Reggie Jackson and Morris back, don't have much interest in Trey Mann, although he did come through in the second half. Just needed one more point from Luke Kennard. 53 for Pokuševski looks good, as if there is no SGA, but if he plays, then he can pass on that price tag. Ellaby has a decent value at 46, just because he's going to get some minutes. At Wiggins, if there's no SGA, looks good. And then value-wise, 3K range, not too much here. You could maybe make a case for Rivers at 35 or Thibault just for tournaments at 36 or Reeves, but definitely feel the best about paying up at this position for a guy like Kevin Durant. Power forward, you can make a case for LeBron. Great matchup against the Timberwolves. It should be a high-scoring game. Just depends if the Lakers can stay in there and score points, because that's been a struggle for them besides for LeBron James. 72 for Porzingis. I would think that's a good option. He's still not playing a ton of minutes, but you don't need him to play a lot of minutes. He's still very productive on a point-per-minute basis, so I don't mind getting to Porzingis. Other options would be, Watford's been playing great, but his price tag has jumped up to 68, so I cannot play him. 556 for Bazley would look good anyways, but it looks better if there's no SGA. Going further down here in the 4K range, we have a couple of options that we can. Covington is back, so that's going to take minutes away from Batum, so you could take like the unders on Nick Batum today if you wanted to do that. And then the Jazz are a bit shorthanded, so Rudy Gay will get some extra minutes. You could see Eric Pascal jump into the starting lineup and play some minutes, so he's another candidate. Over at center, pay-ups are Jokic. Just so many superstars on the slate. You have Jokic, Embiid, even Cat coming off of a 60 burger. I don't mind getting to Gobert as just a value here at 75. They're missing some of their scoring without Bogdanovic, so maybe Gobert gets some more looks at the basket. And the matchup is great against the Bulls. That he should be able to pull down a ton of rebounds going up against Vooch. They're at home. They can get some block shots as well. Price tag is really affordable. So if I wanted to go with the mid-range option, would be Rudy Gobert. And then there's another guy that I like. Drummond at 56 looks fine. Mid-range wise, you have Capella at 61. Looks good against Charlotte. Should dominate the glass against them. But we finally saw Nick Nurse make a change. He threw pressure to Achua into the starting lineup. Finally, got rid of Kem Birch starting wise. At least I think he still got some minutes. But Achua got 33 minutes in his start against the Lakers. Played great. Double-double. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well. 5 of 13. But he has been shooting better recently. He's even taken some threes, which is good to see. I didn't think it was a three-point shooter. But definitely at $3,900, getting him in the starting lineup if he gets 25-plus minutes. Been productive point per minute-wise, just with the rebounding and the points that he gets around the basket. Can hit some threes. Hopefully can improve on his free throw shooting. But definitely can sign me up for Achua at only $3,900 as just a great value pick here. So that's the main pieces that I'm going to be looking at. And then I'll throw in one other guy here. Go back to Patty Mills just because he's pretty affordable at 34. We'll get some more value hopefully, but this leaves you now with like almost $4,300 left to fill out the last couple of spots. But Mills, Durant, Dragic, especially Mills and Dragic, they're going to get a lot of minutes without. They're already getting decent minutes with Kyrie, and without him, you wouldn't be surprised if both approach over 25, approach 30. So that's about it for DraftKings. Let's talk about FanDuel. All right, on FanDuel, I got the picks on the screen here already. Point guard wise, love Luka Doncic at 10.6. He's cheaper than Murray, but I wanted to get to both guys just because you can play them at shooting guard as well. So I plugged in Luka and point guard, plugged in Murray at the shooting guard position. Other options would be Trae Young, 99. Fox been playing better, but he's way too expensive at 95. At least for cash games. Not too much interest for me in the 7K range here, besides like maybe D'Angelo Russell. And then you don't have much in the 6K range. 5K range, you have Max. He looks good at 58. And then you also have Williams, looks fine at 52. The Trey Man, those guys will be dependent on the SGA news. Clarkson looks fine as a value-wise. And then I still like Dragic at 46. Over at shooting guard, once again, Murray is the best play at 10.7. Doncic is the best play, but I'm playing him at point guard. I like Murray more than Harden, even though he's $900 more expensive. And then 9K range. If SGA does play, you could make a case to plug him in over Murray, save some money. But we'll see if he's in or not. 86 for Garland is fine, but they got LeVert back, so he was limited with the minutes, but that should creep up as he ramps up his workload. You have a couple of guys that you can look to, like 68 for Jaylen Brown. Looks awesome as a value-wise. Definitely will try to get to him if I could at either small forward or shooting guard. Just really, really affordable for Brown. That would be the best option in the 6K range by far. 5K range, not too much interest for me in any of these guys. And then same thing from the 4K range, besides for Will Barton at 49, just as a good value-wise. And you could maybe look to like Fournier at 45 as well, just because he still plays good minutes. Small forward, I plugged in a value here, and that's Ellaby at 38. Just a guy that's going to play north of 25 minutes, can get over 30 minutes, depending on if the game is close or not. If there's no Winslow, just bumps him up even more, just continues to play as many minutes as he has been playing. Winslow's been missing the last at least couple of weeks he's been out. So he's probably my favorite guy, sub 4K at the position. 4K flat. Coffee, who finally had a good game shooting-wise. Hopefully he can stick with that. Niang, and then you have Thibault, who had a great game, but hopefully people chase that because Thibault is really risky. Power forward, I love Kevin Durant. You can play my two spots. Now without Kyrie is the only guy that's going to command a lot of usage and take a lot of shots for the team. So super easy to get to Kevin Durant here. And other option would be like Porzingis and Kuzma as values in the 7K range. 6K range, you don't have much. 5K range, you have Tobias is affordable. Baisley looks good at 56. Like Baisley over Pokuevsky. And then Roby just, he's losing minutes to Scar for some reason. Doesn't make a ton of sense. And then Achua looks fine at 48. Looks better on DraftKings, but you can still get to him on a FanDuel. And I plugged in 6K Clint Capella just to get to a value pick here at center. You're not able to pay up for 4 guys above 10K. Well, without really just throwing in min price guys. So I'm not able to get to Jokic, really not able to get to Embiid here. But I don't mind looking in the value here at center with Clint Capella at 6K or maybe getting to Drummond at 57. So I plugged in Capella just because we know Collins is out and the matchup is good against Charlotte. So that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I will see you all next time.